Hi, I'm Janine McGuire.
And I'm Arri Lawton-Simon.
Together we're McGuire
McGuire and
and
Simon.
Simon. Welcome to Third Thursdays. This is the Thursday, April 15th, 2021 edition. Welcome. So glad you're here. We just wanted to start with a few updates that we have had from the last month or so, just to keep everyone in the loop. You may have seen these on our social media channels. If you follow us there, thank you. But one big thing that Arri had last month, right at the anniversary of the Broadway shutdown, was his score premiered for this beautiful illustrated short created by Justin Squiggs Robertson called Hearts to Half. And it is just, in my opinion, just stunning. This is something that he orchestrated and performed as well as composed. And if you haven't seen it yet, we'll pop up a link of where you can find that. But I found it extremely beautiful and inspiring, and just hopeful about where we will all be hopefully going next. With Broadway's reopening. So I wanted to let everyone know about that.
Thanks, Janine. Yeah, I was honored to be a part of it. Squiggs is a great guy. We actually were in a production of Music Man together 10 years ago. It's just amazing how those connections kind of come back around. But after you check that out on the Broadway Podcast Network, you should head on over to Shoshana Greenberg's podcast, Scene to Song, and listen to the episode that premiered on Andrew Lloyd Webber's birthday, which features Janine McGuire, my amazing collaborator, talking about all things Andrew Lloyd Webber. And if you are a fan of his work, it's worth checking out. And if you are somebody who upturns your nose, I think it might give you a new perspective on why he deserves his fandom. He's experimental and daring and fearless and prolific, and really it got me all excited all over again about how much I love Andrew Lloyd Webber's work. So I highly recommend you check that out as well.
Thank you. Thanks. I had a great time doing it too, and appreciative to Shoshana for having me on her podcast. And in both of our news collectively, we have an announcement for next month. The next Third Thursday will be a very special presentation. We're going to do another virtual salon. This will be our spring salon. The date is Thursday, May 20th at 7 p.m. Eastern. And we're going to have on all kinds of songwriters from our wider circles and networks, presenting new songs that they've created recently, and we're just so excited for that. We know that that's always an audience favorite when we, get everyone together to do some new work. So look forward to that next month.
Yeah, and it will mark a year of us starting our digital content in the wake of the beginning of the pandemic, wanting to somehow stay connected with our community, and we decided to do a virtual salon, and it's a year later now at that, and it'll be a nice celebration of the art. So for today, however, we want to bring on our wonderful friend, Ryan Bauer-Walsh, who is what we call a multi-hyphenate these days, because there's like nothing he doesn't do really, and do really well. He sings, acts, he's a visual artist, fashion designer, he's a businessman, he is an album producer. He's just an all-around great guy, and we want to bring him on to talk about a project that we're all working on together.
Yeah. Welcome, Ryan.
Hi.
Hey, thanks for coming on the show.
Oh, it's so nice to be here with both of you.
So as Arri mentioned, we are all working on a project together. Really, this is your project, this is your baby, but we're playing a small part of it. We would love for you to just tell us a little bit about that, and we'll explain our involvement after you talk about what it is.
Absolutely. Well, I've created apparently the world's first queer lullaby family album. It is an all LGBTQ plus album of songs for same-gendered and queer community parents who are raising children. It was inspired many, many years ago by my own selfish desires to someday have children, which, fingers crossed, someday will still happen. But this has been a really tough year for a lot of us. And I know that creating has been difficult to do just in a general sense. But I had a tragedy happen in my own life. My mother passed away after a long and difficult battle with cancer, which has been really just jump-starting all sorts of feelings inside of myself that I'm trying to process. And one of them is, how can I kind of pass on the legacy of the best parts of her maternal instincts? And as a gay man, reinterpreting those, I wanted to use that as a way to kind of help our community and, feed that kind of positive maternal energy into it from her. And the way I wanted to do it was to finally bring this lullaby album to life that I've been experimenting with in my brain for years and years and years. And I pitched it to Broadway Records. They loved the idea. And then I thought, well, this is a good opportunity to bring a lot more voices on board to really ensure that this is a diverse album that is inclusive of all the voices in the LGBTQ community. And here we are now with both of you, and then a list of 25 tracks. It is a big album. It is a new American songbook, and I can't wait to hear all the songs because not all of them have been composed yet.
Yeah, so interesting. So yes, so we will be. We're one of the songwriting teams working on one of the 25 songs on the album, and you've gotten some great composers lined up, including some work of your own, which is awesome. One of the things we may have left out of the multi-hyphenate is songwriter, composer, lyricist. You're so many things. But,
I thought it'd be cool to have a hyphen in college. We support my mother's maiden name, and then I ended up just having all these other ones after it.
Yeah, no. No, we're honored to be writing one of the songs, and the idea of the album certainly resonated with the both of us as well, and it's such a great idea, and it's such an important idea, I think, to have out there. And as we were starting to brainstorm our song, we thought a lot about what kind of messages we could put into it that would be both universal and also specific to the queer experience and to queer parenthood. And so we've had a really good time, just beginning work on our song and coming up with our initial ideas.
Well, and it's such an opportunity for us to finally be the role models that we lacked in the queer community. I mean, we lost an entire generation to the HIV crisis, and we didn't grow up with, family units, queer family units in our community. And now we have this great opportunity to finally create the culture that we craved growing up, that makes us part of something and gives us that responsibility to become parents and shows us how and creates queer tradition. So this is finally that moment where I think that we can assert ourselves in this millennial generation. It's an opportunity. So I think that it's great that we're able to take it. And I'm really, really glad that Broadway Records believes in the product, the idea. And the other thing about this album is that it's going to be a charity album. It's going to support queer youth, and all the profits will go to that. So it's going right back in.
That's fantastic. I know in order to create this, right, it takes a village, and like so many things, it also takes funding to do as well. And I know you have a GoFundMe set up for the production costs for this album, and it's such a worthy cause. And Janine and I love partnering with charity. So if you're viewing this and have any amount to give, visit the link, and please support the GoFundMe for the album so you can hear everybody's beautiful songs in their final version.
I appreciate that so much for you sharing that link. And just to give you an idea of how many composers are on this, we have Mark Shaman, Jason Ma, Lucas Syed, Mark Hartman, McGuire Simon, Paul Lazel, Yaz Fukuoka, Zoe Sarnock, Bruce Coughlin, Tony Award-winning Bruce Coughlin, Bobby Cronin, Augie Greenwood, Andrew Garla, Amanda DeArchangelis, and Adam Overett, just to name a few of the people involved with this. And then there's a whole slew of other people who'll be helping us with the accompaniments, transcribing the music, pianists. It's a major thing. And then today, I think at 5 p.m., I'm talking with a very large choir that will remain nameless for the moment, who may be joining us on the album for the title track. But it is very exciting. It's a huge community, and I'm glad to be part of it.
We are too. And so target date for the album, we said is the summer. Is that right?
Yeah, we're hoping for a late summer launch for all of this, right before the fall school year starts, so that we can kind of get in there before Broadway opens up, so that we can get some exposure for the album, and also before all of the fabulous vocalists that we have involved with it get involved in bigger projects and are no longer available. So that is our timeline, fingers crossed, but it is a big product, so hopefully we can stick to that.
Yeah. Well, we're so excited to hear all the other songs as well, too, and to see how all the different songwriters and songwriting teams, interpreted the assignment. We went about it obviously, in our own way, musically, lyrically, and we thought that we could share a little bit of that with everyone right now. This is just a little glimpse into our process, if that is cool with all. And Arri would be the one playing it on his end, so you can get a taste of what we're thinking about.
I have a magical. There's a piano right here. How did that happen?
So convenient. So let me solo you, Arri, and we can hear a little bit.
Just a tease. Every time you close your eyes, I want you to know you will be forever loved as you live and grow. Every time I tuck you in, I want you to know how very much we wanted you all those years ago. We had a dream when it was only us two, a faraway dream, the dream was you. And that's all you're gonna get today, folks.
So beautiful. I'm so grateful for both of you joining me on this huge project. It's quite the undertaking, and you've done a wonderful job with the task at hand.
Well, thank you so much. You're doing a wonderful job at putting together this amazing, awesome project that we're again so glad to be a part of.
Awesome.
So check it out. Go to the GoFundMe link. We'll pop it up again to remind everybody. All right, which is it in? And go there, support the album and the work that's being done. Ryan, thank you again so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to pop on and share with us today about this project. And Absolutely. Thank you to all of our fans for tuning in every month on Third Thursdays and continually supporting us. If you are not already, like and follow us at all of our socials. We are @ or / McGuire and Simon everywhere. And we look forward to seeing you next month.
Yep. Next month, Salon. See you then.